Hey guys, what's going on? It's Hey Coach Ryan, episode 9. I'm Coach Ryan Knapp. And someone asked me why I film with my kitchen in the background. Well, because this is technically my office. We live in 620 square feet near downtown Boston. And if I actually tilt my camera so you can see my desk, there's my second screen. That's where I store stuff. And this is my office. The cooler thing is if you actually, and this is the view I wish we could have, if you spin around, whoop, you can actually see downtown Boston right out of our window. And you can see Pace. Molly's over on the couch. So that's actually the cooler view than my kitchen. But if I'd used that view and that was actually behind me, I would be backlit. So I would be dark and then you would see the light coming behind me. So we use this way so I can actually use the light coming in. And that's my dog playing with the elk antler. So today we're going to talk about a question from Rob Grant. And Rob asks the simple question. He's new to Miles to Go and he's new to running in the winter. Like, how do I run in the winter? What sort of clothes and that do I need? So we're going to go through and I'm going to show you some examples of stuff that I have. And then hopefully you guys can chime in the comments with some things that have worked for you. So the basic rule of thumb when you're running in the cold is to dress like it's 15 degrees warmer than the actual temperature. So if temperature is 32 degrees, you want to dress like it's 47, 50. Because what will happen is as you start to run, you will warm up. If you are too warm when you start running, then you start to sweat and you start to get uncomfortable and then you're trying to peel off clothes as you run and that's just annoying. So when you start the run, you should feel a little bit cold. And then as you go, you will certainly warm up. Now, if it's windy outside, that's going to cut down a little bit in terms of that 15 degree window. But there's also some gear that you can use that'll help out and make that become more of a reality. Okay, so we're going to start kind of from the bottom and move our way up. So in terms of socks, like you can really wear whatever running socks you wear. I recommend you getting running socks. You can wear higher ones, lower ones. That's really just a matter of preference for you in terms of socks. There's so many different kinds you can get. You can get some wool ones, some merino wool ones. Those tend to wick away the sweat a little bit better and will keep your feet warm and also don't smell. So that's a good plus as well. Now going up to your legs. For guys, I recommend getting pairs of running tights. You can wear pants if you want. Pants will move. Running tights will be very tight. The question you usually get from guys is, do you wear shorts over them? If you want to wear shorts over them, you can. I wore shorts over them when I first started, and now I just don't care, and I just wear my straight running tights. So you'll want to get a pair of running tights. Some will have warmer material on the inside, which will keep you warmer. Some will be a little bit more thin, which is for the days where you just want to keep your legs warm. It has to be pretty cold for me to wear running tights. I'll wear my shorts like 20, 30 degrees. I mean, at least if it's not, especially if it isn't really windy, I'll just wear shorts. But I'm comfortable in the cold because I grew up in the cold. So a pair or pairs of running tights will be good. And you can spend, $20, $30, $40. You can spend like $100, like depending on the brands, but really just find ones that fit nice for you. Some will have zippers on the bottom. They're more of like the pant type of material, and you can zip them to roll them up if you want. Another thing to remember, well, for guys and girls, is if it's very windy, you can get some tights that have like a wind shield on the front. Especially for guys, this is important. In the lower regions, you can actually do some damage if it's too cold and the wind's blowing against you. So you can get some windproof boxers, or not even boxers, like compression shorts that can go underneath that have windproofing on the front, and for ladies too. Or you can get it right on the tights. And another thing that I use, actually I get made fun of, I call them my man prees, but I have 3/4 tights from Nike. So these are guys like capri tights, 3/4 tights. They go down just about the top of my calf. And I love running in these. I've always liked running in 3/4 tights. We used to sell them in Colorado because you see guys running all the time in them. In Boston, it's a little bit less of the case. So that's what you're looking at for bottoms. For the upper part, so for your upper body, really important, 3 main layers, and then you can decide what you want to do and try different layers, but 3 main layers are going to be important. The first is going to be the base layer. Okay, so this is going to be moisture wicking. This is going to be long sleeve. So this is a craft base layer that I have, long sleeve. This will keep your core cold and keep you cold on the bottom right away. It will also wick away a lot of the sweat. You can use craft, Mizuno, Breath Thermo is also very good. Mine's just in the wash, or else I would show it. So something like this to go on underneath. You want to get a couple of these if you can, because you'll rotate through. Basically, you'll wear this every day. The next thing is a good zip top to have. So I have 2 types of these. One is if it's not really that cold or not very windy. I just have a couple of these from Brooks that I got randomly when I worked for the track club in Kansas City. These are just normal zip tops. You can unzip them to let out some of the heat or to be a little bit cooler. They also have the armholes down here. Any sort of like quarter zip top like this will be fine. Now, if it's really windy outside, so you can have like one or two of these, and those you'll just use all the time. But the most important piece to have is a top that's going to be windproof on the front, especially if you live in Boston or near any sort of water or in an area that it's pretty windy. So I think Craft and Segway are very good for this. This is my Craft top. This is actually windproof, so this black stuff is windproof on the front. And what that will do is keep you very warm, keep your core very warm all the way down from the top of the, from the top of the Craft all the way down to the bottom. And there's a little bit of windproofing in the back, but not as much. And this actually has a pocket in the back too. So this is between this base layer and this guy, I'm running in down to like 0 degrees or 10 degrees or whatever. Like this will keep you very, very, very warm. These two pieces specifically, a very good base layer and a very good quarter zip top. And then on top of that, you can have like a windproof jacket or a jacket to go over top of it. This is one I got from the track club again. It's just a Brooks one. I don't like to wear a big jacket over top, so I will tend to just wear these two. And if I need to, I'll throw a jacket like this on, or maybe even a lighter jacket, and be good to go from there. So base layer, quarter zip top, or a full zip if that's how you want to go, and then a jacket. These three things will basically be the core of what you're running in all winter long. And then, depending on what I'm knocking stuff on the floor. Depending on what you want to wear for your hands and you want to wear for a hat, you can just take your pick. A nice pair of thinner gloves. So these are the Mizuno Breath Thermal gloves. A nice pair of thinner gloves is going to be good, especially if you have hands like me and they're always cold in the winter. I'll run in a t-shirt sometimes and gloves just because my hands get cooler. And then I have a pair of gloves, like North Face gloves like this if it's really cold. And then I have warmer gloves that I use for skiing that I've had to pull out maybe once in a while. So a good set of gloves depending on your level for coldness there. Another great item to have is a buff. So this is a buff. It's basically just a long circular piece of material. So you can wear your buff. I take my hat off and my glasses. So you can wear your buff as an actual hat. So you can just pull it over your ears, pull it down like this, and actually wear it as a hat if you need to. There's ways to tie it so that this actually goes underneath. So you can wear these as a hat. I always wear mine in the winter over my neck. So I wear it like this, and that just keeps my neck cold or warm. And then if I have my normal hat, my North Face hat, I can just pull this on like that, and then I'm pretty cold. And then if you're running and it gets really cold, you can basically do this and be good to go. You can pull it all the way up like that if you want to, and then you're pretty much good to go there if you really want to stay warm. Or you just grow a beard and then you don't have to worry about that. But having a good hat, this is a North Face hat. I've had this for like 5 or 6 years at this point. And a buff, I think, is the way to go. And then that's basically what you're going to need for the winter. You can experiment with other types of hats and things that you might need, but really a pair or two of tights, a couple good base layers, a good quarter zip on top of that, a jacket will take you through the winter, and then having a good set of gloves, possibly a thin pair and a thicker pair, a buff, I think, to go around something to go around your neck, and then a hat, and you're going to be good to go. So those are the suggestions I have specifically for the types of items to buy. You want to look for brands that are known for having good winter gear. So Segway, ProZumi, like a lot of cycling companies, Craft, any sort of company that also makes like winter skiing gear. So like Helly Hansen, those types of brands will have good winter stuff because they're meant to keep skiers warm and cross-country skiers warm, and it's going to be good. So yeah, so that's my suggestions on the winter stuff. If you guys have any material or any gear or any tips or anything that's worked really well for you, make sure to leave it in the comments. And if not, I will be back next week with episode 10. So thanks so much for tuning in and have a great day.